say never again.
Hey, welcome back, guys. This is Sampson, and welcome back for another video. This is me talking about FLPS Part 3. This was supposed to be a Part 2, but instead I decided to continue with the series instead of ending it on Part 2. So, as you can see in the title, I am continuing this series for Part 3, and this will be the final and the last series of my life at FLPS. I will be coming out with a new series, and I'll talk about that at the end of this video. I want to thank you guys for watching my part 1 and 2 of this series, and if you have not watched it, please go on to the right hand corner of your screen and go back, pause this video, and then go and watch part 1, and then watch part 2, and then come back to that, and then come back to part 3, and so you can get all caught up with that video, with these videos, so you can understand what I'm talking about. So, without further ado, let's get on with this video. As I said in the last video of part 2 of this series, I left off on talking about Mick and his girlfriend, the problems and the situations that they were having. Yes, even though they were adorable couple, but they did have their situations or problems, but I did help them through it, as I said in the previous video. And I remember I was talking to my friend Chanel about this problem, and I was telling her how I wanted it to be me, and I was thinking in my head like, oh, should this be me? Should I be trying to feel these feelings that I had for him? And I'm like, I don't know what to think, and she wasn't really helping me on the situation. So I was like, thanks Chanel, you're really a great friend. But all in all, it was like the whole discussion was about Nick and him and why that and that, why shit. I was worried about them, but I still liked them as a couple, but it was like in the back of my mind, I wanted it to be me, as you can see. I did talk to my other friend, my friend Jazz, about this, and she was like, what is your feelings is your feelings, and whatever you feel will be what you bring out. But as you can see, they're in a relationship. Don't put yourself in that situation to try to break up their relationship. Just keep on helping them, and if it does happen to be a breakup, we'll just let it happen. But don't go rushing into trying to get in with him by trying to edge yourself in too deep into their relationship while you still have that feeling about him. And I was like, that was more helpful than Chanel. Yeah, but all in all, it was pretty nice to have that one friend that helped me out through that. So fast forwarding now, this is the time when we went on this field trip. As I could say about this field trip, that was my least favorite field trip of my whole life in FLPS, because this was the most disgusting field trip ever. Why I say that is that we went to a landfill / dump, which was where they process its garbage, which was disgusting to me. But I had my friends there. I had Chanel, Jazz, Mick, Daph, Rachel, Jacob, James, Carla, Carol, and other people that were there, my other classmates. Yes. So we went on the field trip. We barely paid attention to what the person was saying, because he was telling us about the importance of garbage and how you recycle, how you do this and how you do that. But middle schoolers, we don't care about that. So we just kept on talking, and also we had to leave our phones in our pockets, so we could not use them. We had to put it on silence. We were kind of mad about that because we had to keep them on silent, and we couldn't use our phones at all times. So it's the only way that we entertained ourselves was telling jokes and trying to talk through the whole thing instead of listening to what the person was saying to us. So it was a fun day. Now this is kind of hard for me to talk about, but I'll talk about it anyway. Me and Chanel and others were talking about the field trip that we had a few months before. We were talking about how bad it was and stuff, and then I remember one of the jokes were like, it was really hard for me to hear it, when I heard that Daph and Mick were having some real bad problems, and I was like, oh boy. Because then I remember I got up and went to the bathroom, and I was asking Daph why was she crying and stuff, and I was like, what's wrong, are you okay and stuff, like a good friend would. And she was telling me, oh, she doesn't know what's going on with Mick and stuff, and I'm like, what's going on and stuff, and she didn't know what to do. And I'm just like, whatever you feel in your heart and what you guys are going through, you guys will work it out. And whatever situation that you think is best for both of you guys, you'll do it together. And she felt better after I said more inspirational stuff for her and helped her out with the situation and stuff. And she was kind enough to like, thank you, and I gave her a hug, and I was like, don't worry about it. And then we went back to lunch and ate with our friends and told more jokes and stuff. So a couple of weeks after me and Chanel had a lot of problems that we were going through, she kept on getting mad when my former teacher, Miss B, and Miss J used to ask me to do things help out with the other kids and stuff and whatever they needed. She wasn't really happy about that teachers asked me and not her. So she was kind of mad, and then we had food drives and stuff, so I helped out organize those, and they didn't ask her, and she wasn't on the committee to do it. She was mad at that too, and I was like, okay. So I just didn't bother saying anything to her about it. It was 4th hour, and we were going to PE, and we were changing, and I was saying something about Miss K, our advisors in the school, one of our advisors, and she heard me talking and saying stuff and things, and Chanel was in the stall, and we were talking back and forth and stuff, and then I did not knowing that Miss K was in this one right next to her. Miss K heard me, and she's like, Miss Sampson, and I was like, oh boy, yep, I'm in trouble. After I changed back into my other clothes, and their coach, she was like, what's wrong and stuff, and she's like, then Miss K came back and started saying, oh, she's coming with me, don't worry about what she's doing, you guys go ahead and do what you were doing. And she's like, Miss Sampson, you are very disrespectful with what you said about me in the bathroom. And I was like, oh boy. And she's like, I'm like, I'm not gonna apologize for what I said, but okay. And she's like, oh, since you're not gonna apologize or to me on the spot, you have detention. I'm like, great, yeah, thanks. In my head, I'm like, thank you, Chanel, for getting me in trouble. Great. I was kind of pissed about that because I remember when I changed back into, I had on my white Skechers sneakers, red top, the red top uniform that we had with our logo on the side, and I had on my pants. I went to Miss Lonstein's office, and we were discussing the punishment. I had to write 10 words why not to say things about administrators' backs, and write on the board, clean the boards in each of the classrooms, wipe the tables, scrape gum off the tables, scrape gum under the tables, and if there's any food on the floor, pick it up and throw it in the trash. So that was my duty to do, thanks to Chanel. I remember how we were in class, we were writing stuff, and I was doing my homework. It was study hall period, and I was like, so Chanel, thanks for having my back at that time when I got in trouble. It was the same day, later in the day. I was like, thanks for having my back when I was in trouble. She just didn't even answer me. I'm like, wow, so you're not gonna answer me? She's like, oh, so what you want me to say? I'm like, I wanted you to say to have my back at that time when I needed you the most at that time to help me out of this situation, but instead you wanted to keep quiet. Thanks for having my back, as I said, again. And then we had a big argument. It was a big shiny argument in the whole thing, and then people were watching and seeing us go through this. Teacher was right there. She was telling us to be quiet and stuff, but I didn't care. I was like, since you want to say that, we're not going to be friends. And I walked out, stormed off to the bathrooms, and I was just like dripping in tears. I was just crying in tears. And then my friends were in the bathroom as well because they were in a different study hall. Monica, Jessica, and Rachel was with me, and they were asking me what's wrong, what's going on, are you okay, what's going on with you and Chanel, because I can understand that you guys look like you guys are having some real problems. And I'm like, I don't know what to do, because I'm just like, girl, I'm like, I don't know. And it was just a bad situation that was going on, and I just didn't know what to do. I knew that the friendship was deteriorating and it wasn't going anywhere. So then James decided to push us together. It was during lunchtime, and he brought us inside, and he was like, I'm gonna talk to you and Janelle together. And I'm like, okay, why? Like, I don't have nothing to say to her. Whatever she has to say to me, she can tell me in my face. Because right now I have nothing to say. There was silence between both of us, and then he locked the door. He's like, until you guys figure this out, you guys are not coming out from here. And I'm like, she wanted to go first, but I'm like, you know what? Let me say something first. I'm like, in the different situations that we had, I'm like, you could have been there for me no matter what, and instead you wanted to be silent and not say anything. And I thought I knew the person that was there for me before in 4th grade, that I knew and was my best friend. I didn't think that the person I knew right now was the same person I knew back then, and what happened to that person that I knew and cared about, because I remember we had a great connections and we were fun, and you used to call me and all the type of things, and you would never be this hurtful to me at all. And by the time I kept on saying more and more, tears were just coming down my eyes, and I was just like screaming, like, you want to come and say this about me, you want to come and say that about me, but you can't say that I'm not a great friend, because I am a great friend. I am loyal. I'm trustworthy. I keep your secrets. I never talk back about. I never say any bad things about you. I'll never talk behind your back. I will never not tell you what people are saying or not saying about you. I would always stand up for you, and I'll always stand up for you no matter what, in no situation that was going on. And then she went on like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know what was going on, I'm sorry that you felt that way. She's like, well, there were things going on with my family, I didn't want to talk about it, because I knew Chanel was going through a lot of things in her family. So I just left them alone after, and then I moved on. So he was like, we're good, and she's like, we're good, and then we were back to being good friends again. The months and months went on. It was good and stuff, and but I remember what went on to this day. I remember to this day what went on in this class. If you're watching something in school, I remember I sat down and I heard people calling me, for giving me the worst names you could ever be called. But I also remember what my teacher for 7th grade always told me. Don't let them take your kindness for weakness. Never let down on your guard. Always be kind and sweet, and be determined, work hard, and there will be roadblocks and situations in your life that you will be going through, but you also have to break through those walls in order, and also those obstacles, so in order to be successful in your going on. I remember going into Valentine's Day. It was Valentine's Day, and it was a normal Valentine's Day, to be honest. It was fun. We all came dressed up in different clothes. I came in a red dress and black heels, and I had glasses, and I had a little bag behind me. And everyone was like, is that real? I'm like, he's like, is that you, real? I'm like, yes. I'm like, yes, it is me. And they're like, what? Why are you wearing a dress? I'm like, why are you looking at me that way? Oh my gosh, they're just like, why are you dressed that way? I'm like, because it's Valentine's Day and you get to dress up on these days. So I'm like, okay. But like, you look like a girl. I'm like, thank you. I didn't really know what to say about that at the time, that situation. 7th grade year, it was a kind of a good year, but it had some roadblocks, but it was fun. So then summer reached, we left. We had our field. I don't even think we had a field day that year. No, we had a dance, spring social, and then boom, the end of the year, got our yearbooks and left. Summer came. During the summer, I really focused on myself and was determined to be my confident self for that summer. It was something that I never thought that I could achieve for the summer, but I had lots of fun. I went on lots of vacations and stuff, had a good time. So this was going to be my last year in FLPS, so this is 8th grade. And 8th grade, we got a new classrooms, and I didn't really start because I was looking for a new school because I said I was gonna leave. So my mom was like, okay, let's start looking for schools, and then I came back. I was like in the somewhere like the second week of school. It was the second week, and I got enrolled back into FLPS. And I came back, everybody was like, what? I thought you said you were leaving. I'm like, just leave me alone and shut up. Just shut up. Yeah, so after history with Dr. B, we went to math class, which was our math class after. And we were taught different math problems. Like, it was more like algebraic problems. And our teacher was Dr. H. And he wants us to call us Dr. So what I call him Mr. H. So Mr. H was teaching us about math and algebraic problems and trying to figure out 8th grade math, and we were just like, okay, trying to figure it out. He was like our first day of class, and he was going over one of the lessons, the first lesson, and I was just like, okay, this is kind of weird. Trying to figure this one part out because it was kind of odd it was this certain problem. It was x. It was 2x. But it's 5y, but he did it differently than I put it in the paper. And then I did it, and I was like, okay, I got the answer. But then he's like, oh, but there's 3 different ways to get in this answer. I was like, can I just use this one method that I used to get the answer? He's like, yeah, but it's easier if you use my way. And you know how teachers get when they start using them, they're like, oh, you need to use my way. I'm like, can I just use my way? I already got the answer. I'm like, oh my goodness, he was so annoying. But anywho, then thank God, because with this class, I was in the lower part of the algebraic class that he had, because this was 8th grade. So in 8th grade, we had A and B. A and B was like the first one was the advanced kids, and then the lower one was like the lowest kids. It was based on our GP. It was based on like the grades that we got previous year. So my grade in 7th grade for math, it was okay. It was a high grade, but it wasn't like too high. So I was like, okay. I didn't know what to think on that. So I was like, okay, you know what, never mind. I'm with my friends. And because most people who had that class were like, everybody was in a history class together, but except for English. Because when we had English, because my English class was like after my science class. It was science, then English, then history, then gym, and math, and then lunch, and then we went home. And I don't know why we did it like that, because we had math, science in the morning, and we had government and social studies. It was so annoying, but anyways. So going on, when we went to lunch, my new friend, Hani, was asking me about my friend Joshua. Now, Joshua and Connie were not really like together. They were like, well, before they got together, they were asking about each other. And I was like, okay, why are you guys asking me about each other like in different times? I want to go heat up my lunch because we have microwaves out, because our lunch area outside. Set up inside, but I would have rather had it both ways if we had it inside and outside, but that's not how it was. So moving on. So yeah, they were talking about each other. They were asking me, oh, did this person do this part? Did this person what is this person like? What is their favorite candy? What is this? What is that? I'm like, why are you asking me all these questions? And I was concerned. I was like, you know what, let me play a little matchmaker here, trying to get these two together. So I tried, and then I finally got them together. So I was like, yes, I succeeded at getting someone together, and it was nice. They were getting together. They were going along with each other very well. I was glad for it. I was also happy, very, very happy for them. So it was a commute of them getting together and stuff like that. It was a great year. Fast forwarding to the drama I had with my friend Charisse this year. And Chanel. It was just kind of weird. But me and Charisse, we were okay. We worked out the drama. It wasn't like petty drama. It was just like a somewhat drama, but it wasn't that bad. She was acting weird